Franklin County, Mississippi. He wrote his wedding date and his son's birthday inside his hard hat. Let me continue to show you some of the victims. Gordon Jones was 28 years old. He was what you call a mud engineer. We're talking about that mud that is going to be put into the well. He was a mud engineer from Baton Rouge. He's got a son and a pregnant wife. Dewey Rivette was 48 years old from State Line, Mississippi, a wife and two daughters. He worked for Transocean for 29 years. Donald Clark was 49 years old. He was an assistant driller from Newellton, Louisiana. He has a wife and 4 children. This is devastating. He was scheduled to leave the rig on April 21st, the day after the incident. Blair Manuel, 56 years old, also a mud engineer from Gonzales, Louisiana. He has a fiancée and 3 daughters. His nickname was Big Baby. That's how his friends knew him. Adam Weiss was 24 years old. He was a floor hand from Yorktown, Texas. And finally, Aaron Burkeen, 37 years old, was a crane operator from Neshoba County, Mississippi. He had a wife and 2 children. He was helping other crew members get to safety before he was lost on the Deepwater horizon. Those guys are being remembered right now at a service held by Transocean. Let's go to Ed Lavandera. He is in New Orleans, also covering this for us. We told you moments ago that Representative Edward Markey from Massachusetts said that BP is going to be cutting off that video feed. Ed and I were talking about the fact that at least while the top kill method is being used tomorrow, we'll be able to see something. We'll be able to see that video feed. Are we going to be able to or not, Ed?
Well, we're still waiting to hear confirmation from BP officials. We've got our initial calls into them to confirm whether or not Representative Markey's story is indeed the case. We've got calls out quite a bit. But, of course, you know, Ali, as well as anyone, a couple weeks ago we did the story kind of wondering why we hadn't seen video for so long of that underwater leak that we knew that BP had from quite some time, since early on in this explosion and in this disaster. And it took a lot of pushing and a lot of prodding to get this video released. So from a public relations standpoint, this will really ratchet up the intensity. You've heard the calls over the last few weeks about how many people have been losing trust in BP and the way they're handling things. I cannot imagine that this will help in that arena. All
right, but as far as you know, Ed, the top kill approach is still going ahead tomorrow. They are planning on starting this thing tomorrow, but we get sort of more murky as to how long this is going to take and how we're going to know whether it succeeds.
Well, it is. It's a very fluid situation. Right now, we know that there are crews out there in the Gulf of Mexico. They've been running all the preparation tests that BP has kind of been walking us through and explaining to us what they're trying to do, all of the different tests that they need to go through to make sure that they are well prepared to take this on. And they must start this during daylight hours, so that the best time that we have so far is that tomorrow morning this process of implementing the top kill method would work. And if the cameras come down, this is a method that could take 10 to 12 hours. So these cameras would be out of commission, and we'd be unable to see them for most of the day tomorrow.
All right, Edward, thanks very much for being with us. Ed Lavandera, we will continue to follow this with you and, of course, our whole team following this.